So children who live in homosexual households are more likely to lose a parent than a kid whose parents are heterosexual. Now, let's talk about the society as a general. Gay marriage is not morally accepted in the society. We all know that. Based on tradition and religious beliefs, marriage should be only between one man and one woman. We can't just come all of a sudden and change the beliefs that humanity has created throughout the entire history. Traditional marriage is just something that has been accustomed and morally accepted. It just began since the year 00001.
Shame.
Now, if gay marriage is legalized, hate against the gay community will increase. Homophobics hate gays. If they get the right to marry, the homophobics will hate them worse, obviously, and violence will increase.
Shame.
So, now I want to thank you all for being such a good audience and to remind you that opposition urges your vote. Thank you very much.
Morning, class. Morning. Well, I want to start off with what he said about marriage is an institution between a man and a woman. Well, that's the most often heard argument, yet it is the weakest. Who says marriage is to be defined by? The married? The marriageable? Isn't that kind of like allowing a banker to decide who is going to own the money is stored in its vault? It seems to me that if the straight community cannot show a compelling reason why to deny the institution of marriage to gay people, it shouldn't be denied. And such simple declarations are hardly a compelling reason. They're really more like an expression of prejudice than any kind of real argument. The concept of not denying people their rights unless you can show a compelling reason to do so is the very best of the American ideal of human rights. And for what he was saying about marriage for procreation, the points of this argument are really hard-pressed to explain why. If that's the case, that infertile couples are allowed to marry. I, for one, would love to see, I will call them, I'll say, marriage police, to go to someone's house, kick the door down, and say, since you guys can't have a baby, your mother is postmenopausal and your husband is impotent, and you can't have children, let me have your rings back, since marriage is for procreation. And for same-sex couples it's not right for it will be hard for children to come up in same-sex marriages. This is an interesting one. In the light of who society does allow to get married and bring children into their marriages, check this out. Murderers, convicted felons, and all sorts of even known child molesters are allowed to freely marry and procreate. And so do every day, with hardly a second thought by the same critics. So if children are truly the priority here, why is this allowed? The fact is that many gay couples raise children adopted and occasionally their own from failed attempts of heterosexual marriages. Lots and lots of scientific studies have shown that the outcomes of children raised in the homes of gay and lesbian couples are just as good as those straight couples. The difference has been shown, and again in insignificant psychologists tell us that what makes the difference is the love of the parents, not their gender. The studies are very clear about that, and gay people are as capable of loving children as fully as anyone else.
Hello class, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you guys for being here and for checking us out. I want to thank my partners here, Leland. How are you doing, man? I want to thank my pal here. It's great. Okay, so first of all, I want to jump into their argument about equality. Gay marriage was morally unacceptable before the Constitution was even written, really. So think it has anything to do with equality. I think it's just been morally wrong for you to be with another man or for a chick to be with another chick since the beginning of time. And my opponent also talked about gay marriage would help the economy and give us money and all this. But I don't think it's right to be taking money over morals, because morally we haven't accepted gay marriage, not like, you know what I'm saying, 1 year in our whole history, really. And like, he also talked about discrimination, and I agree, discrimination is totally wrong, but I don't think the legalization of gay marriage would decrease any kind of discrimination at all, really. If anything, it'll increase it. Like, for example, when African Americans got their freedom from slavery and they were just let out on the streets or whatever, they were hated even worse because people had something else to hate them for, really. And I would also like to strengthen here my friend's point about procreation. Like, procreation is a major principle of the human race. It always has been. Like, without procreation, I wouldn't be here, and the gays wouldn't be here. Neither one of us would be here to have this debate at all. So I think it's not right for us to think about gay marriage and then instantly just try to write off procreation. Like, what? Procreation isn't important. Give us your rings back. I don't think that's right, because procreation is very important, really. And to speak on tradition, traditionally, since the beginning of time, it has been established that a marriage is between a man and a woman. And if you flip the card, you know, and you try to think about it like if it was traditionally right for gay marriages or whatever since the beginning of time. Think about how much of an effect that would have on the world from the beginning of time if it was right, if it was Adam and Adam and not Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the population would certainly be affected by that. And a lot of important people, I feel like a lot of important people wouldn't be here if gay marriage was accepted. And yeah, man, that's what's up. So, yeah.
Was it argument?
There's no second rebuttal, right? So I can't say. Like,
you can say a few things in your closing statement.
Okay. The reality is, homosexuality is multi-dimensional, and it's much more about love and affection more than about sex. And this is what gay relationships are based on: mutual attraction, love, and affection. Sex is a means of expressing that love, just the same as it is for heterosexuals. Being gay is much more profound than simply a sexual relationship. Being gay is a part of a person's core identity and goes right to the very center of his or her being. It's like being black in a society of all whites, or blonde European in a nation of black-haired Asians. Yes, being gay is just profound to the person who is. This is something that few heterosexuals can understand unless they are a minority themselves. And for what he said about procreation, there's also, gay people can procreate their sperm banks out there that will give them frozen semen where they can have babies, or they can have, I forgot what it's called, but like or a sperm donor, like a friend of the male that can supply them sperm for their spouse can be pregnant. So gay people can still procreate and adopt. Thank you.
Frozen semen is weird. You can have love and affection perfectly without being married. That's what I believe, really. And I feel like if you're in a relationship and you're not married, you're probably more better off, because if you break up, you won't have to deal with a lot of things. So I think gay couples should appreciate the fact that it's not cool for them to get married. And, just because we don't accept gay marriage doesn't mean we don't like gay people and that we don't treat gay people equally in society. Okay, it's just morals. That's what the whole thing has to do with it. Morals and tradition, and that's the reason why we don't allow gay marriage in America. Because we don't want our kids to go to school and taught that kissing his best friend James is right. Because, I mean, really, it's not right. How many of us would honestly be cool with our kids being gay? Honestly. That's one person. Camera.
Two.
I mean, you guys are biased.